All right, we're going to roll right into our post-qualifying for Sunday's 16th annual Ford EcoBoost 400, the final race in the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup season. And starting on the front row, qualified second here this afternoon is Kurt Busch. He drives the number 41 Haas Automation Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. Kurt, congratulations on your qualifying effort. Talk about your car, how practice is going. Obviously, you have to be pleased with how the qualifying went for you here this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a tremendous set of laps. With the new format, you got to make 3 laps that'll give you a shot at the pole. And we came home, just a bit shy. Congrats to Jeff Gordon. That was a perfect lap he laid down. I felt like we laid down a really great lap with our 41 Haas Automation Chevy, and to do it with Tony Gibson and this new group of guys in our third race together, it's great chemistry already. It was, building up from Texas and Phoenix, and then to come down here and sit outside pole. It just shows all the signs are pointed in the right direction for next season, and couldn't be happier with the way that we could attack the track today and have a shot at the pole in just our third race.
Thank you, Kurt. Questions for Kurt Busch, Jim Utter, and then Lee Spencer. Let's get the wireless mics. We have a couple out here.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. You just touched on this a little bit, but it seems like your transition with Tony has been sort of seamless. Is there anything that stands out that you think is better, or things are going better now since he's joined the team?
His veteran leadership. Tony Gibson has years and years in this garage area that allows him to know how to make decisions and not have to look at the notebook or double check what track he's at for the weekend. When you roll into Homestead, it's a sister track to other tracks, and there's trends that you have in your war chest. And his experience level reminds me of Steve Addington and Pat Trison, Todd Barrier, who I worked with last year, and most importantly, Jimmy Fenning, who helped lead me to a championship years ago. Experience is second to none in this garage.
Let's go to Lee.
LeeSpencerMotorsport.com. You've come to Homestead having to win, the race on Sunday. What are these guys? What's going to be going through their minds, and how much as a teammate are you going to be able to help Kevin Harvick?
Go ahead.
The year I came down here, I had a points cushion, and you have to use that to your advantage. This year, everybody's racing, is the last man standing. Everybody's equal on points, and so you have to race to win, and you have to keep track of those other cars that are out there with the yellow banner across the top of their windshield. That's ultimately who you're racing. And the year that everything came together for me, it was Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and myself, and we all pitted with 60 laps to go. That's before we had all these yellows and all these pit stops at the end of the race. And none of us could make it on fuel unless we had a fuel conservation type run. So we were all going to finish top 5 together, or we were all going to run out of gas together. And so you have to race the competitors in your specific group.
Other questions for Kurt Busch? Take one more right over here. Tom Jensen.
Hey, Kurt, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Based on what you've seen with these 4 guys racing for a championship, what do you expect on Sunday?
Well, raw speed always comes into play, and the 4-car has had that all year. That's who I'm rooting for. That's what we'll do out there on the track to keep track of him. The 22 is going to be his toughest competitor. The 11 car will surprise you, though. Hamlin is good here. And then Newman, all year long, I've watched him, and I shook his hand. I think it was at Texas. I said, you're just rolling through this chase, running for 8th place. And I told him, I said, you're going to end up at Homestead and have a shot at it. And so he punched his ticket with consistency. With his new program, I think you have to go for the win. And that's where the 4, 22, and 11 seem to have shown more strength.
Kurt, thank you for coming in. Congratulations on a good qualifying run, and good luck Sunday here at Homestead-Miami.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our third fastest qualifier for Sunday's 16th annual Ford EcoBoost 400 is Matt Kenseth. And he drives the number 20 Dollar General Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And Matt, certainly, it's good to see you. Just talk about your qualifying run here this afternoon, how your car is shaping up, and your outlook for Sunday's race.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it wasn't as good as Kurt and Jeff's, but it was good. So we had some decent speed. Our first lap on the track day, just worked on qualifying. Got a pretty clean lap that last one. So it was overall it was good.
Questions for Matt Kenseth? We'll take a couple. Anybody have a question for the driver of the number 20 Dollar General Toyota, Matt Kenseth? Over here.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. How important is it for you to come in here and try and get that win that you've been searching for all season long? You got one more shot to do it. You're obviously fast this weekend. What do you do to get in victory lane?
I mean, it's always important to to run up front and be competitive, and obviously to win races. So I don't know that it's any more or less important to me than the other 35 races this year. Really, I mean, that's what you show up to try to do every week. I mean, obviously the longer you go without a win, I don't necessarily feel a pressure or anything like that, but obviously you think about it a little bit more. So yeah, it'd be great to end the season on a positive note.
Other questions for Matt Kenseth? Right over here, Gary Long from Miami.
Matt, what can you do to help Denny, and what would you do?
Denny who? I just noticed him sitting there. No, not behind you, he's in front of you. I mean, really the same as every week. I mean, I feel like we have a good group over at JGR. I feel like, Kyle and Denny and I work really well together, and we always try to help each other as much as we can. So I don't think anything really necessarily changes this weekend. I mean, we try to help each other as much as we can, throughout the week, throughout practice, maybe changes we made in our car, things that worked, things that didn't work, things like that. Anything we can do, obviously, to try to make that solve faster as a group.
Any other questions for Matt Kenseth?
I don't think so, Kerry. I think that was it.
That was it. I think you cover it extremely well. Matt Kenseth, good luck Sunday.